Hello, welcome back to Paul's Racing Channel and to my round 8 track guide, this time from the final round actually of the championship, which will be held here at the Fuji International Speedway in Japan. Looking down that magnificent long straight, start finish straight that they've got here at this circuit. So usual procedure here. Going to take you through the guide to start with, and then show you a couple of onboard laps without the chat. So let's get on with it then. As I say, we're just going along the start finish now, heading into turn 1. Here at the 100-metre board, or the start of the curbing on the left hand side, is about where you want to start braking. Certainly in this car, the McLaren 650S anyway. Start the brakes, put it down, take it down some gears to about second. Some people might want to chuck it in the first just to get a better exit out of it, but I tend to stay in the second at this point. So stay wide to the left until it's time to kind of turn in. This is a bit of a bottleneck here, so as you can imagine, when you've got all the cars coming down here, especially at the start, all going into this tight hairpin turn 1, can be a little bit of carnage if you're not careful. I mean, I'll try and turn it in. I'm quite a long way from the apex there actually. It doesn't really matter, it's quite wide at this turn 1. You've got quite a lot of runoff over on the left hand side, although I mean I wouldn't recommend getting too far out there because it's pretty slippery out there. But I say, try and aim for that apex on the right hand side as you would, and then feed it out. There's all that green stuff out there that will go, but that is very slippery, as I say. Depending on how far you go out there, you might not be coming back on in a straight line, so you don't really want to be hitting that. You can touch the curbs obviously, but you don't really want to be hitting that green stuff if you can help it. Then what you want to do is just try and aim for this little kink in the corner there, almost straight line it from turn 1 straight away down right onto the line there, as if you're, as I say, just straight lining it straight through. Now some people might come out wide and then bring it back to the right hand side for this next left-hander. About the 50-metre Bordeaux is when, again, where you want to drop it down a gear, maybe just one. Should be in, you're probably going to be in about 5th gear by the time you get to that spot. Now you've got to be careful before you turn in. Is the little bollard on the apex there is what you're aiming for, but you've got to be a bit careful when aiming here not to cut too much of this corner. And depending on what the penalties are set at on the races, you might be okay. But if it's on quite high, the penalties, if you cut this and cut quite a lot of it, you will get a penalty. So I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I haven't got nothing set on here at the moment, but you can take that. Just try not to take too much of it. And obviously you've got all that runoff on the left, which you get on the right, sorry, that you can use of course, but I've been quite shallow there trying to straighten it out as I've come out. Now in this particular long sweeping right hand, this is a really good corner. Some people might tend to go out a little bit wider, try and bring it back in, but it's kind of got a double apex to it, and right in the middle of the corner I'll give it a little squirt of power just to give it that little bit more, just to get it around that next kind of kink, if you like. So it kind of straightens out here, and then you've got this other next little apex as it comes round. As you see, a great shot of Mount Fuji there in the background. I'm sure you won't be concentrating on that as you're driving around, but that's a great shot. Give it a little squirt of power, keep powering it out, and use all that curb on the left hand side. So literally you're powering it and powering it and powering it as you come through that corner, midway through that corner. Keep going until you get to about just before the little sign, the sign going across the top of the track there. So at this point I start to spring it from the right, so you're coming right from the left right the way across to the right to give yourself enough to get round to the next sharp left hand. This is quite a sharp left hand hairpin corner as well. It does widen out on the exit, but I'll drop it down a couple of gears and then try and get in tight as I can into that corner. You can cut that, but as you can see, there are some little curbs and some little ramps in there which might unsettle the car if you're not careful. And then you can just feed the power on as soon as you hit that apex. Just bring it on. It's so wide at this point that you can just use all of this track head first, that much as you curb on that right hand side if you can. Again, I've been quite shallow here. And then just nip the corner of this curb. You can use all that on the left if you wish as well. I'm going to stay about central. all the way down here until about the 50 metre ball, just shy of the 50 metre ball there on the right hand side. This is obviously the chicane, very tight chicane, right left hander, which you're going to have to take quite slowly as you come around here, drop it down a couple of gears, and then maybe down to second or first. Some people might decide to chuck it in the first. I tend to try and stick it in the second if I can, but some people will decide to drop it in the first. So you can take this corner again. It does unsettle the car. You can see it's got about 3 different surfaces there, isn't it? The curb, then like a little concrete ridge, and then the green Astro there. So 3 kind of different surfaces there, which the car might not like. So cut that anyway. You're just staying in the same gear as you hit this next left-hander, then power it out. Now this curb is a bit strange as well. Again, you've got your 3 kind of surfaces. You can cut some of this, but again, it's because of the shape of it and the fact that you can be going uphill a little bit now. You're again, it can throw it off a little bit. I try not to take too much of this one if I can help it. It might slow the car down as well. And then chuck it over to the left, ready for this next tight right-hander. Again, drop it down a gear. Don't recommend taking too much of this either. And then feed it out to the left curb, and then you're going to swing it across to the right hand side. You're almost going away from the track at this point. The apex there is right on your far left, and but you're almost heading straight for those for that box and for the crowd there. Got to bring it round, swing it right around, so you're taking it wider to try and bring it round to this tight corner, and then feed it out. You've got all the curb on the right hand side again. Wouldn't recommend going out too far out there. You might actually get a penalty if I'm honest anyway. And then some people take a wider line at this final corner, some will take it a little bit shallower, but try and go, some will come right out wide. I'm a little bit more shallow at this point. Drop it down to about second gear. Try and get as close as you can to the inside curve, don't touch it, and then you can use all of that there on the exit. I don't, but you can. And then all the way up to the start and finish line. There's your lap of Fuji International Raceway. So here it is in real time, if you like. Here we go. So there's your lap of Fuji in real time. I'll go round another time, this time again, but this time with a bit of commentary as well. So heading down, just to recap really, edge of the curb, drop it down to second. Missed the apex by quite a lot there, feed it out, doesn't really matter. Head for that inside curb, gone a bit wider there. Up to about the 50 metre ball, drop it down. Cut that corner, not too much though, although that was quite a lot. Now this is one I was telling you about where you just give it a feather it, then squirt it. Now keep squirting it out. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Now brake. Now, I'll be honest, this next section of it's not going to be the quickest time. I reckon the aliens out there could easily get 138s. If I'm honest, this is not my favourite track, one of my favourite tracks, and this certainly isn't. I'm certainly not the quickest round this particular section, this final section. I don't know why, I just can't seem to string it together a lot of the time. So I lose quite a bit of time around here. So certainly my time is not going to be a record breaker, but as I say, I think there's easily a 38 in there, not a problem for the fast drivers, but I could only just manage sort of mid 139 in the end, but that was the best I could do. So there you go, there's your laps of Fuji, and well, I hope you enjoyed watching that. So join me again. Well, there isn't going to be a next time, is there? This is going to be the final round until next time, but this is going to be the final track guide of this particular championship, the GR4 championship that I'm covering. And well, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it's going to be a help to somebody, anybody. And well, there you go. Thanks for watching again, and see you soon.